Hi everybody. I wanted to just do a really quick introduction to let you know a little bit about something that I'm getting ready to do. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I'm getting ready to do NaNoWriMo. And I have this pink patent domino, an A5 size that I had originally set up to use for school. Well, I decided that I wanted to use it for NaNoWriMo prep stuff. I also realized that I only have 9 days until NaNoWriMo starts. And so I thought I would just get on here and just give you a little introduction to NaNoWriMo, that kind of thing, just in case you don't know anything about it. So NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month. And basically the idea is that you start November 1st, you write a certain number of words a day, and at the end of November you have a 50-page novel. Or, you know, what could eventually become a novel with, you know, some fine-tuning and editing and whatnot. So, what you do is, you don't, I want to say censor yourself, but that's not really the word I'm looking for. You just write. You don't worry about spelling, you don't worry about grammar necessarily. You don't worry about editing yourself. You just write 50,000 words. And then, ideally, at the end of that, you could turn that into a novel. Or you could just say, you know, I won NaNoWriMo because I wrote 50,000 words. That's what I did last year. I went in, I had decided, I want to say it was mid-October. So I had decided kind of with no room to prepare. And so I didn't. And basically what I did is I opened my computer, and I have a program called Scrivener, and I just sat down on November 1st and I started writing. I wrote 50,000 words in November, so I have the little, you know, seal that says I won. I have the winner certificate and all that. I have not looked at the story that I wrote since then. So, my first year, it was my first year trying, and I did it. And I have no desire to look at that story again. It was not a good story. I went in with no preparation whatsoever. I just started writing. I kind of had an idea in my head of what I wanted it to be. It did not turn out to be what I wanted it. I had trouble with, you know, plot devices and, you know, the fact that even though I read a lot of books, my head to paper translation isn't as good as it should be. So yeah, it just didn't all come together. There are pieces of that I could take and use in this year's if I wanted to, but I don't think I do. I think I just want to start fresh. So I set up this notebook, and I have been keeping, I'll show you inside, but this is kind of a prep. So if you go on the NaNoWriMo website, you can, there's lots of information. There's lots of things that can help you if you have no idea what to do or where to start. They also have a youth NaNoWriMo section, which is what the school that I worked in last year, that's what the 2 5th grade teachers had their students do NaNoWriMo, which was really super fun. And I was in. And so I was kind of competing with them, and that's kind of what kept me on track, and I don't have that this year. So I'm going to have to try to do this on my own. So I need all of the, like, you know, inspiration or whatever that I can get. So I thought if I put it out there, let people know that I'm doing it, that would help be motivation for me. On the youth site, they have a whole section for teaching NaNoWriMo. So, there's an elementary, a middle school, and a high school section, and they have workbooks for each of those grade levels, and it's Common Core. It like hits all the Common Core standards. So if you're a teacher and you teach in a school that follows Common Core for English, you can teach NaNoWriMo in your classroom and hit all the standards that are required. So what I did is I went to the high school section and I downloaded the workbook. And what you do if you're a teacher is you download that and you can have it printed for each one of your students. And you start either in September or October, and you start to work through the workbook. And it has, you know, it starts out with, you know, what's your favorite book? What are the things you like about it? And you write that stuff down. And it has little, like worksheets for character development and plot development. And it shows you the plot roller coaster and how, you know, you're supposed to have rising action and then your climax and falling action, all this kind of stuff. So I printed out the high school one because I thought that it would help me kind of get in the mindset for, you know, what I needed to be thinking about to make a good story. And also, I'm an education major, and I am a secondary education major. And so whenever I start teaching, I fully intend to teach this in my classroom. And so I thought, you know, also working through this workbook would help me with that. So I'm going to show you what's inside. And I'm going to... I have some things that I printed out from the workbook and stuck inside of here, and so that's why I wanted to do kind of a little introduction to let you know, what all this is. So I'm going to flip it around, and I'm going to show you what's inside, and hopefully if you're doing NaNoWriMo, it's something that you can use. If you are doing NaNoWriMo, leave me a comment, and I will go look at yours and we can be buddies or whatever. I'll leave a link to my profile down below if you want to follow me on there. You know, the more friends you have on there kind of cheering you on, the better you'll do. So if you're doing NaNoWriMo, let me know. I'll be there. I'll be there to cheer you on. It was a really fun process. There's so many fun things on the website that you can do. So yeah, leave me a comment. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you what's inside really quick. Alright, so I'm sorry about the glare. I have this weird lamp up here to kind of help with. Let me move it. There we go. It's not so bad. Alright, so here's the inside, and if you are following me on Instagram, then you've seen this. I made this last week, and it's just a moleskin, like the large K here. And I just kind of decorated the front, and then I've been carrying it and then just jotting down ideas. So I've just got some, just some things written down in here. I've been using, you can see, like the ghosting and a little bleed through on the page. I've been using this Pilot Metropolitan fountain pen. It's got a fine tip on it, or a nib or whatever, but it still does bleed through the moleskin paper. So I've just been writing on one side of the paper. But I have this, and it fits in here perfect. But I can also just pull that out and take it with me, like if I want to stick it in my purse instead of carrying this whole planner with me. Okay, dashboard. Every Filofax needs a fun dashboard. And a writing Filofax would not be complete without, or a NaNoWriMo, I should say, would not be complete without all of my favorites. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to hold it up where there's no glare, but I can't quite. But you get the idea. I've got Doctor Who. I've got Damon Salvatore, Sirius Black, Sherlock, Channing Tatum, Captain Mao, Castiel, Bobby, everybody telling me that I should be writing, or what are you doing, you should be writing right now. So these are kind of like, I found a bunch of them last year on just Googling, and it's a meme or whatever that somebody did, and it's just kind of a NaNoWriMo. I'm assuming it's a NaNoWriMo thing. But yeah, I just pulled a bunch of them into Photoshop, collaged them together, and laminated, made a little dashboard. So I'm just going to show you my sections really quick. I don't have anything in them right now. I'm waiting for an order to come in. It should be here today of a 0.7 friction pens. And so I want to use friction pens in here because I want to be able to erase instead of reusing a bunch, or having to reprint my papers and stuff. So I just have the schedule, which is just the Filofax paper. I left that in here. I figured I could write word counts and things like that down. My next section is characters, and this is one of the things I was talking about, the little printouts. They're character profile sheets, and this is one of the things that's in the workbook. And I just shrunk it down and printed it on A5. So each one is 2 pages front and back. And it's like everything that you could possibly need to know about your characters is here. Like everything. Pet peeves, insecurities, what they look like, what their favorite music is, what their favorite book is. I mean, just anything. I mean, anything that you could possibly need to know about your characters, you can write on these pages. So I just printed off 4 of those and put those in here. And then I just have just lined paper to write other things. I can do my minor characters or other things like that. And this paper is from Kitty Qualia also. My next section is for research, and I just have plain paper in here. I have a list, like a running list of things that I need to look up, like just research things, things about colleges and stuff like that, setting and all that kind of stuff, so I just have a section for that. And then I have a section on plot, and I printed some other things out from the workbook, and it's about protagonists and antagonists and whether they're physical or abstract and just things like that. And then this one I printed out because it's kind of like a little guideline of what all of the things you're supposed to have in your plot, so I just put that in here. And then more plain paper. My next section is inspiration, and I have just graph paper and plain white Filofax paper, and I am going to just put pictures, like little snippets of things that I want to use for inspiration. I have a Pinterest board where I have things pinned that I plan to use, like vehicles, like the vehicles that my main characters are going to drive. And they also have this, if you put polyvore into the search box on Pinterest, it brings up this whole section on like outfit pairings. And if you're on Pinterest very much, I'm sure you've seen them, but they're like, it's like a whole style thing. Like, if you're, what do you call it? Like a hipster, or if you're more of a rock style, or you can like narrow it down and it gives you like a whole outfit grouping for different styles. So it's everything from accessories, shoes, boots, the whole entire outfit. And it's all just grouped into a little picture. So I've been kind of saving those, and just kind of deciding what style my characters are going to have, and so I figured I'd just print some of those out and put them in. That way, if I need help with like descriptions or things like that, then I can just look back here. And then the last section I have is for notes, and it's just plain paper again. I can use that for whatever I need it for. But that's all I have in here right now. Obviously, I'm going to fill this up as soon as I get those pins. I have everything kind of written down on like little notes and everything. I just need to transfer it all in here. So, yeah, so that's my setup for here. If you have a binder or something that you have set up for writing, I would love to see it. Leave me a link. If you have any questions about this one, leave me a link in the comments, and I will see you all later. Thanks for watching.